Hi, welcome back to Conduct Market Research. In this video we'll talk about topic 3, research design. There's not a video for all the topics in this subject, only the ones that students often find are a little bit tricky. And topic 3, research design, is one of these topics. So when you have finished watching this video, I suggest you click here on topic 3 and basically read through this session. So far in market research, we have talked about the whole research process, or you have read about the whole research process. And basically, what we are trying to do is to break the research process into smaller steps. Market research is a very complex topic, and when things are broken into smaller steps, and when you focus just at one step at a time, then it basically just becomes a whole lot easier to sort of like get your head around. So we have now reached step 3, determine research design. So in step 1, we defined a number of problems that was experienced by a business. In step 2, we defined the research objectives. That was the information we needed to collect as a market researcher to solve these problems. And in step 3, we'll basically design a plan that'll give us the information that can solve the problems. Now that is also illustrated up in this figure up here. First, basically we start out with a problem, we translate that into research objectives, and then we have the plan for collecting information that can basically solve our problems. That can comprise of qualitative research or exploratory research and or quantitative research that can comprise of descriptive or causal research. Now let's have a look at the qualitative or the explorative part of the research first. Now, exploratory research is basically research that we conduct by looking around. It's very flexible form of research, and it comprises of a number of different techniques. These techniques are listed here, or the most common ones are listed here. It involves a literature search that all of you as external students needs to actually use. It could also involve focus groups. It could involve projective techniques, in-depth interviews, observations, case studies, and or social media. Now we'll look at the more important of these techniques in this video. So we will not cover everything, just the most commonly used methods. The first one is social media. And social media is absolutely fantastic because people often tell the truth when they write things on social media. If they are frustrated about something, they'll write it on social media, or if they do write on social media, they'll tell you what they think. So you can learn a lot from social media research. If people love something, they are likely to talk about that on social media as well. So you can basically, through social media research, find out what works and what doesn't. Now there's a number of different ways in which you can do social media research, and you basically just got to pick the methods that would be best suited for your industry and your business. There's a number, there's a lot of different options here. Foursquare, for example. If you're doing research for a coffee shop or a cafe, then Foursquare or maybe Yelp would be good tools or good avenues to look for information. NetVibes sort of like allows you to research more than one social media at a time, and is also very useful. But yes, you have a lot of options. Of course, Facebook. If your company has a Facebook page, you can look on there and see what people are saying. I'll actually urge you to go to Starbucks Facebook page, and just have a look at what people are actually saying about Starbucks. The Starbucks marketing team can use this information to see what they should do more of and what they should do less of. If there's a lot of people that like certain things that they have done, they should do more of that. While if there's not a lot of people that like something, or if there's actually people that dislike something, well, they need to stop doing whatever it was that caused that reaction. Another sort of like very effective qualitative research technique is focus groups. Focus groups are basically a research technique where you get a number of people to sit down and discuss a given topic. You need to record the whole conversation, ideally on a video camera, but alternatively just on a phone. Now the whole focus group, during the focus group, you will basically discuss a number of general topics that you as the researcher have decided upon about your business. So let's say you're doing research to try and work out how to design a perfect website. In that case, you'll probably want to show the website to the focus group and basically get them to discuss. Do they like it or don't they like it? Now with a focus group, you need to have a moderator, and you can read more about what the role of the moderator is. With a focus group, when you're done with the focus group, at the very end, you of course thank people for participating and potentially pay them if you are able to do so. But after you completed your focus group, you need to sit down by your computer and actually type up everything that was said in that focus group in a Word document. And when you are done with that, you need to start to color code the findings. Every time a certain theme is brought up, something that the people in the focus group didn't like or that they did like, you need to color it a certain color, say green. So every time they talk about like the website being unfriendly, you can color that green. Every time they talk about delivery being too slow, you can color that red. And you simply go down through this entire document of the entire focus group and start to color all the way down. Each time a new topic emerges, you sort of color it a different color, and by the end of it you can have a look at your document and see what color is the dominant color. And that is the number one issue that was brought up in this focus group. And then you can move on to the second biggest issue, etc. That's basically how you analyze the results from the focus group. You can also use different programs, but this is like a simple technique. Another type of research I would like to talk a little bit about is literature search. We already discussed that in one of the videos under your assessment, but basically avenues such as Google Scholar or the search engines in the library are absolutely wonderful sources of quality information. So have a look at these things and see what you can find for your assignment. Observations is another type of research that is very commonly used. Observation is again a very effective technique to learn about what works and what doesn't. You can basically observe customers in a supermarket. If you are running a supermarket, try and follow them around with their permission, and basically see when are they confused? Should you have better signage? Can they find what they're looking for? And based on such observations, you can learn a lot about what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. I spoke once with a researcher that worked for a big food company here in Australia, and she had basically interviewed a number of moms about what foods they ate. And according to these moms, they primarily ate really healthy foods, a lot of vegetables and similar. Now, this researcher actually went to the homes of these mothers that were interviewed and asked if she could have a look in the fridge. And it turned out that she learned something very different from the observations. That when she looked in the fridges of these participants in the research, there was a lot of Coke and all sorts of things in the fridges. So be wary about just relying on one research technique. Quite often, if you use more than one research technique, you can learn a lot more. Likewise, if let's say you did research for a gym, if you wanted to open a new gym somewhere in, say, South Australia, before opening up a new gym, you might want to first do some observational research. Maybe you could go around to different gyms in the area and do a one-off session. After you visit these gyms, you can then go to a cafe, sit down with a notepad, and you can write down all the things that you liked about a given gym and all the things you disliked. And then when you design and set up your own gym, you can do all the things that you liked in the different gyms where you did observations, while you can try and avoid doing the things that you did not like. By doing this sort of research, chances are that you can set up a much better gym than you otherwise could. So a number of different research techniques here, and we won't talk about them all. But what I would like to talk about is, by the way, here with this is focus groups. Try and watch in particular this focus group here. The one about the presidential nomination in the Democratic Party in the U.S. It's really good, and you can sort of like, after watching this video, you can try and just think about just what they learned about the performance of Obama and Hillary and Edwards in this debate. You would be able, after watching this focus group, to give advice to each of these three candidates on what they should do more of and what they should do less of. Now, the next type of research, none of you will actually be doing this research, but it's called descriptive research. It's basically where you try and describe the marketplace through surveys. So in the exploratory research or the qualitative research, we are basically looking around for information. We didn't interview a lot of people. We didn't talk to a lot of people. We might just have done observations, or we might just have done secondary research, which is what you need to do for the assignment for this subject, just secondary research. And it would be somewhat dangerous to take marketing decisions just purely based on the exploratory research that we did. So for that reason, we learned certain things from our exploratory research. Now we need to quantify the findings. We basically ask additional questions on a questionnaire, on a survey that we hand out to much larger numbers of people. And by doing so, we can sort of statistically confirm what we found through our exploratory research, hopefully. Now, the final type of research is called causal research. And causal research is basically a type of research where you change something. You look at linkages between different conditions. So, for example, you might believe that if you were to lower the price, then sales would increase. And you could try and do so. You could measure sales before you lower the price, and then you could try and lower the price and then measure sales and see what happens. So you might have a hypothesis about what will happen if you do a certain thing, and then you can test it out. Let's say if you run a bar, you might believe that if you turn up the temperature a little bit, then you'll sell more beer. And by the same token, like one weekend you could measure, or a number of weekends or months for that matter, you could measure how much beer you sell at a certain temperature. Then you could increase the temperature by a degree and see if that'll actually influence the sales in the pub. So that is basically causal research, and that's the end of this session.